Played here by Danny Heatley, and out they come 2-on-1. This is Niederreiter holding onto it, and he scores! Niederreiter wins the series for the Minnesota Wild.
The Colorado Avalanche had just suffered a grueling defeat to the Minnesota Wild, yet the horizon was bright, full of hope and promise. Leading them into a new era was the legendary Patrick Roy, a fierce competitor whose arrival as head coach inspired visions of a long reign behind the bench. In his first year behind the bench, Roy transformed an Avalanche team that had no business making the playoffs into a division champion, earning him the Jack Adams Trophy as the league's best coach. For a team that had struggled to regain its former glory, the Avalanche now had a core worth rallying around. Young stars like Matt Duchene, Gabe Landeskog, Ryan O'Reilly, Nathan MacKinnon, and Paul Stastny, each a cornerstone in his own right. Veterans like Alex Tanguay, Jean-Sébastien Giguère, P.A. Parenteau, and Maxime Talbot added wisdom and resilience, balancing the team's youthful energy. The defensive lineup with Erik Johnson, Tyson Barrie, and Nick Holden promised to hold strong, a wall that could be trusted. Between the pipes, Semyon Varlamov was coming off of one of the finest seasons of his career, showcasing a level of play that could carry them through the toughest battles. In 2014, the Avalanche were no longer just a team fighting for relevance. They were on the verge of something great. The team had risen like a phoenix. Once near the bottom, finishing second to last in the entire NHL, they had now scaled their way to the summit, winning a division that many would remember as one of the most fiercely competitive in hockey history. And I'm talking about the Central Division at its peak. That year, along with Colorado, the St. Louis Blues, Chicago Blackhawks, Minnesota Wild, and Dallas Stars all secured their spots in the playoffs. To understand just how good that division was, consider this. The teams that narrowly missed out, the Jets and the Predators, both boasted winning records, hovering within reach of the postseason until the bitter end. Colorado's unexpected surge to the top was powered by an unstoppable force in the form of Calder Trophy winning rookie Nathan MacKinnon.
Left to go in period one. Charlie Coyle has given the Wild a 1-0 lead. Nathan MacKinnon with a shot. He scores! The beat goes on for Nathan MacKinnon.
And the impenetrable wall of Vezina-nominated goaltender Semyon Varlamov.
Comes free for the Hawks. Pass. Shot. Wow! What a save by Varlamov with the glove, robbing Patrick Kane.
Varlamov played better than ever before, posting a stunning .927 save percentage and a 2.41 goals against average, and earning a 4th place finish in the Hart Trophy race. To many, Colorado seemed to be riding a miraculous wave, perhaps pushing beyond what they were ready for. But for now, everything was falling into place. As the 2015 season drew near, Colorado's offseason was mostly calm, with only a few key moves making headlines. The Avs welcomed legendary forward Jarome Iginla, a player who, despite a decorated career, was still chasing the elusive Stanley Cup. Iggy would spend 2 really solid seasons with the Avs, before being traded to the Kings in 2017. Meanwhile, longtime Avs center Paul Stastny departed, choosing to sign with the St. Louis Blues in free agency. But most notably, it was what the Avs didn't do during the 2014 offseason that would come back to haunt them, almost immediately. The Avs held the 23rd pick in the 2014 NHL Draft, a draft loaded with future stars Aaron Ekblad, Sam Reinhart, and Leon Draisaitl. By the time it was Colorado's turn to pick, the likes of David Pastrnak, Braden Point, Adrian Kempe, and Ivan Barbashev were still on the board. But the Avs would take a chance on Connor Bleakley, a guy who many are convinced still isn't a real person. But no, he is real, and not just another Taro Tsumoto. But much like Taro, Bleakley has yet to see the ice in an NHL game. After just 2 seasons with the organization, he was then traded to the Arizona Coyotes. He re-entered the draft in 2016 and got selected by the St. Louis Blues, but he still hasn't managed to play more than 60 games for any team since his junior hockey days. At this stage, it seems increasingly unlikely that Bleakley will ever make it to the NHL, A rare blunder by Joe Sakic and company, but definitely one that still haunts them to this day. So as Bleakley began his career-long grind in every league but the National Hockey League, Colorado geared up for the 2015 season, unaware of the trials that lay ahead. In 2015, the Colorado Avalanche stumbled. Well, sort of. They were hit with the injury bug far too often in 2015, suffering 495 man-game losses in 2015. And sadly, it seems like not a lot has changed today. The team managed to rack up 90 points and finish above 500, yet still fell 9 points short of making the playoffs. It was a respectable season by most measures, but unfortunately, they were up against the Central Division at its most ruthless. Back then, the Central Division was as intense as today's Atlantic Division, a battleground where every team took turns beating the shit out of each other. But for Colorado, things just didn't quite click. Many of their top players from the previous season cooled off all at once. Nathan MacKinnon, fresh off hhis Calder Trophy win, was hit with injuries and the sophomore slump. Matt Duchene's production dropped from 70 points in 2014 to just 55 in 2015. And though Gabriel Landeskog led the team in scoring, his points still trailed off from the previous year. He was actually tied with Iggy for the team lead in scoring. The one constant was Varlamov. He put on another stellar performance, posting a .921 save percentage and doing all he could to keep Colorado afloat. In hockey, it's common to hear that slumps and off years are a part of the game. No one expects every player to be at their best all the time through all 82 games. Only the true elite of the elite can do that. But the problem comes when too many players are off their game all at once. And when that happens, well, the team's in trouble pretty much the whole season. It's plain and simple. The Avalanche, with a longer offseason than they'd had in 2014, found themselves with an opportunity to pause, recalibrate, and scout their next big prospect with precision. But first, we have a trade to announce. Colorado made a move that showed they were serious about reshaping their roster. In a bold trade, Ryan O'Reilly and Jamie McGinn were shipped to Buffalo, and in return, the Avalanche gained a promising package in Nikita Zadorov, JT Compher, and Mikhail Grigorenko. Then, with the 10th selection, Colorado wasn't about to repeat past mistakes. This time, they were sure of their pick. And while he was no Connor Bleakley, this Mikko Rantanen kid, he'd turn out just fine. Not stopping there, following the draft, Colorado would also acquire left-winger Carl Soderberg, and then ink him to a 5-year, $23.75 million deal. The Avalanche didn't let the momentum stall. Also adding veteran experience and grit, they signed Blake Como and defenseman Francois Beauchemin. In 2016, the Avalanche's once promising momentum had already began to fizzle out, and this disappointing season that followed made the triumphs of 2014 feel like a distant memory. This year would only mark the beginning of a deeper descent. For the second straight year, not a single player managed to crack the 60-point mark, and it felt like Semyon Varlamov was the only one still giving his all. As for Patrick Waugh, it seemed he sensed the looming downfall. Waugh would make a quick, unexpected exit after the season wrapped up, leaving Colorado almost as abruptly as he'd left Montreal years before, leaving head coach Jared Bednar to step in and replace Waugh. So what went wrong with the Colorado Avalanche in 2016? They ended the year ranked 19th in goals scored and 23rd in goals against, a grim combination for any team hoping to compete. Even their young star Nathan MacKinnon, who'd shown flashes of brilliance in his rookie season, hadn't fully elevated his game since 2014, and Colorado just simply didn't have enough top-end talent to make a difference. And 2017, well, it was definitely a year that happened.
And look out, here's a chance for Como, short-handed, Blake Como, dropped it back,
Behind there, he knows he's with him, but he forgets Laine's there as well.
Back alongside. Tip, they score! Nice redirect out in front. And it came up with a Van Riemsdyk. Keith here. A long flip shot. Tip, they score! Brook for the long quick shot that is blocked in front. Oh, back by Panik. He scores! So look and shoots it. And they scores! Taves cutting in. He scores! A long flip shot to the empty net. And it goes in for Kruger. And incredibly, a
team that was down by 2 goals halfway through the third period is going to win by 3.
The Colorado Avalanche's 2017 season was historically bad, finishing with a record of 22, 56, and 4 for just 48 points. The lowest in the organization's history since moving to Colorado. The roster was plagued by underperformance and a lack of depth, with key players like Matt Duchene and Gabe Landeskog failing to meet expectations. Injuries to vital players, including Erik Johnson and Nathan MacKinnon, further hindered the team's consistency. Head coach Jared Bednar struggled to implement his system, resulting in a disorganized and undisciplined squad. The Avalanche had one of the worst defenses in the league, allowing a staggering 265 goals, while goaltenders Semyon Varlamov and Kelvin Pickard faced significant challenges, including injuries and inconsistency. The team's power play was dismal, converting only 14% of opportunities, and the penalty kill was just as ineffective. Trade rumors surrounding Duchene created uncertainty, and management faced criticism for their treatment of the situation throughout the season. As losses mounted, the team's morale deteriorated, leading to poor home performance, with only 10 wins at the Pepsi Center. If you were an Avs fan who saw them win at home that year, comment below. A clear disconnect between the players and coaching staff hindered communication and cohesion on the ice. In a tale that echoes the highs and lows of the sport, we find ourselves looking back at a Colorado Avalanche team that just 3 short years after clinching their division plummeted to the very bottom of the NHL standings. They had hit rock bottom, and there was no denying it. They were the worst team in hockey, and it wasn't even close. But as the shockwave wore off on the worst season in Colorado Avalanche history, a small flicker of hope emerged. Surely, with all that hardship, they would secure the coveted first overall pick in the draft. But wait, after enduring such a miserable season, they ended up with the 4th overall selection? A cruel twist of fate indeed. It appeared as if the hockey gods were about to condemn the Avalanche to a long, painful rebuild. But with the 4th pick, the Colorado Avalanche would select Cale Makar, a pick whose arrival in the NHL was still some time away, or so many thought. Isn't it amusing how fate works? Imagine for a moment if Colorado had won the draft lottery. The possibilities of where they might be today are tantalizing to ponder. Like, who knows what would have happened if Colorado didn't draft Cale Makar? At this point following the draft, the Avalanche seemed destined for a full-scale rebuild, a complete teardown of a roster that bore little resemblance of the one that had tasted success in 2014. The 2017 offseason marked a critical turning point for the franchise, hoping to shake off the painful memories of their absolute failure of a season. The time had come to breathe new life into a team in desperate need of transformation. Free agency brought in many new faces. Goaltender Jonathan Bernier was signed on a 1-year deal to serve as backup to Semyon Varlamov, while former first overall pick, the Yak Attack, Nail Yakupov, joined in hopes of a fresh start. Meanwhile, the Avalanche recommitted to some of their cornerstones. Captain Gabe Landeskog and defenseman Erik Johnson were each given extensions, securing them as pillars of Colorado's future. Matt Nieto, who'd brought energy and speed since being claimed off waivers from the Sharks, was re-signed for another season, solidifying the Avs' depth on the wing. Colorado also made some more minor moves to boost depth, acquiring Colin Wilson from the Predators to add veteran presence up front. By the end of the 2017 offseason, the Colorado Avalanche had set the stage for a complete transformation. About a month into the season, we would be ushering in a new era of Avalanche hockey, but not the way anyone expected. On a crisp November day in 2017, the NHL buzzed with excitement as the Matt Duchene trade unfolded, marking a pivotal moment in the careers of several players and the future of these 3 franchises. Duchene, a gifted forward with a burning desire for success, had been feeling the weight of the Colorado Avalanche's struggles. Frustrated with the team's performance, he expressed a wish to be traded, setting the stage for a significant move. The trade became a 3-team deal involving the Colorado Avalanche, the Ottawa Senators, and the Nashville Predators. In the transaction, the Colorado Avalanche sent Duchene to the Senators, who were eager to add the talented center to their lineup. The Senators in turn dealt away Kyle Turris, who became a key piece for the Predators. As part of the deal, the Avalanche received promising returns: Shane Bowers, a skilled prospect, and veteran goaltender Andrew Hammond, along with a conditional first-round pick in 2018 that ended up becoming the 4th overall pick in 2019. And to top it all off, the Avalanche ended up receiving sneaky good defenseman Samuel Girard. The trade not only altered Duchene's trajectory, leading him to Ottawa where he immediately signed a long-term contract, but it also set motion and change for all 3 teams involved. As the 2018 season approached, the Colorado Avalanche found themselves with no expectations resting on their shoulders, yet they were determined to avoid a repeat of their disastrous previous year. In 2017, the Avalanche hit rock bottom. They knew the only way forward was up, but the low point sparked a hunger for change, and the Avalanche responded with a story of redemption and transformation that defied the odds and reignited some much-needed hope for the future. I think we can call this one of the fastest turnarounds in NHL history, boys. And in the middle of this turnaround was none other than Nathan MacKinnon. The Mac Daddy had a season for the ages, igniting the ice with fire and intensity that took the league by storm. No longer just a budding star, MacKinnon evolved into a full-blown superstar, racking up an impressive 97 points, 39 goals, and 58 assists. His unmatched speed, keen vision, and lethal scoring touch rendered him nearly unstoppable, quickly solidifying his status as one of the best players in the game. MacKinnon's explosive play not only electrified fans, but also earned him a Hart Trophy nomination, placing him squarely in the conversation for the league's most valuable player. The Avalanche's revival was more than just a season. It was a testament to resilience, and at its center was Nathan MacKinnon, leading the charge toward a brighter future. But MacKinnon wasn't the only one elevating his game. Mikko Rantanen, the towering Finnish winger, emerged as the perfect complement to MacKinnon's speed and creativity, finishing with 84 points. The chemistry between the pair was electric, and their line, which also included captain Gabe Landeskog, became one of the league's most productive trios. Together, they drove Colorado's offense, with Landeskog providing the leadership and physicality, Rantanen the finesse, and MacKinnon the sheer power and speed. In net, Semyon Varlamov was as dependable as ever, but we gotta give this goaltender his flowers too. When the Avalanche called up goaltender Jonathan Bernier due to Varlamov facing injuries, Bernier delivered a string of clutch performances. He carried the team through some tough stretches, winning 9 consecutive games at one point, a streak that helped keep the Avalanche in the playoff race. And on April 8th, 2018, the Colorado Avalanche, a team that had managed fewer than 50 points and won fewer than 10 home games just a season before, defeated the St. Louis Blues to clinch their first playoff berth in 4 years. Moments like this are why I love hockey, man. The years of pain and disappointment were finally behind us. The Colorado Avalanche's 2018 playoff run may have been brief, but it was filled with powerful moments that showcased their hunger and resilience. Entering the postseason as the last Western Conference wildcard, they faced the formidable Nashville Predators, the reigning Western Conference champions, and the league's best team. While most teams might have felt daunted, the Avalanche saw an opportunity to make a statement. In Game 1, they traveled to Nashville, a place known for its deafening crowd. The Avalanche knew that they had to be flawless against Nashville's high-octane offense, featuring stars like Philip Forsberg, Ryan Johansson, and bolstered by a stalwart defense led by Roman Josi and PK Subban. Despite their spirited start, Colorado fell 5-2 in the opening game, learning the hard truth that playoff hockey demanded more grit and discipline. Determined to fight back in Game 2, Colorado displayed newfound resolve. Nathan MacKinnon, the heart of their resurgence, electrified the game with his speed, scoring a dazzling goal. Yet the defending conference and regular season champions proved too much, and they narrowly won 5-4, taking a 2-0 series lead. Still, the Avalanche had shown that they could push a top team to its limits, as they headed back to Denver with hope. Returning for Game 3, the Pepsi Center buzzed with anticipation. The crowd rallied behind their team, and the Avalanche fed off that energy. MacKinnon netted 2 spectacular goals, while Gabe Landeskog's fierce physicality led the charge. Colorado emerged victorious with a 5-3 win, showcasing their speed and aggression, and finally gaining momentum in the series. In Game 4, the stakes rose as backup goalie Jonathan Bernier had to step in for the injured Semyon Varlamov, and the Avalanche played a disciplined game. But Nashville's depth shone through, and they edged out a 3-2 victory, taking a commanding 3-1 series lead. But with their season on the line, the Avalanche didn't hear no bell.
Spinning in the far corner, granted it, finds MacKinnon, zigzags, turns it out, beats Landeskog, who scores! What a play, Avalanche, 2-on-1. Comfort with Andrighetto, Comfort with a shot, save, score! Andrighetto! With a minute 28 remaining, the Avalanche take a 2-1 lead.
Back in Denver, the Avalanche faced elimination once more, but they were taught a lesson by the President's Trophy-winning Nashville Predators. The young Avalanche team never gave up, but Nashville's experience prevailed. The Predators won 5-0, closing out the series. But as the Avalanche left the ice, the standing ovation from their fans said it all. It signaled not just an end, but the start of something special in Colorado. The 2018 playoffs may not have ended in a championship for the Colorado Avalanche, but they had achieved something great. A resurgence. They had gone from their worst team personally in franchise history to making the playoffs, taking the league's top team to 6 hard-fought games. MacKinnon had emerged as a superstar, Girard as a promising young defenseman, and the team's core was now throttled with players who understood what it took to win. That 2018 playoff run set the tone for what the Avalanche would soon become. A true powerhouse in the NHL. The Colorado Avalanche's 2018 offseason was a chapter of building and tweaking. With the team on the rise after a breakthrough season, Joe Sakic was determined to push their young core forward and turn them into contenders. The moves they made during the 2018 offseason may not have been flashy, but they were calculated steps to improve the depth and versatility of the team that had shown they could compete. The dawn of free agency on July 1st ushered in a flurry of activities as general manager Joe Sakic sought to enhance the team's competitive edge by adding seasoned players to bolster their core. Seeing how Nashville used their size and physicality to bully Colorado at times, Sakic became determined to add grit and toughness into his lineup. First on the agenda was rugged defenseman Ian Cole, who re-signed a 3-year contract extension valued at $12.75 million. Coming off a Stanley Cup triumph with the Pittsburgh Penguins in 2017, and after being acquired at the 2018 trade deadline, Cole was recognized for his shot-blocking prowess and hard-hitting style of play. His addition would not only infuse toughness into the Avalanche's defense, but he also provided mentorship to young guys like Samuel Girard and Nikita Zadorov, helping them navigate the challenges of pro hockey. Next, Colorado turned their attention to the forward group, signing Matt Calvert to a 3-year deal worth $8.4 million. Calvert, a relentless competitor who spent his entire career with the Columbus Blue Jackets, was praised for his tireless work ethic and strong penalty-killing capabilities. He was a true grinder who brought energy and intensity to every shift while also contributing offensively when the opportunity arose. Though neither Cole nor Calvert were headline-grabbing names, their combination, experience, and understanding of playoff intensity would prove invaluable as the Avalanche sought to shed their underdog label. However, not all familiar faces would return for the team. The Avalanche faced tough decisions as they parted ways with players who had weathered the storms of previous seasons. Como was a steady forward known for his speed and veteran presence. When he signed with Dallas, it marked the end of his 4-year tenure with Colorado. His reliability on the penalty kill and leadership in the locker room would be missed. In a similar vein, Jonathan Bernier, who had served as a solid backup goaltender, departed for the Detroit Red Wings. His exit would open the door for a significant acquisition. Goaltender Philip Grubauer, acquired from the Washington Capitals in exchange for a second-round pick. This move proved pivotal, as Grubauer was a proven backup goaltender with flashes of starting potential. The Avs would quickly secure Grubauer with a 3-year, $10 million deal, setting the stage for an intriguing new dynamic in net. Grubauer's arrival provided the Avalanche with a dependable option to pair with Semyon Varlamov, who had battled injuries in recent seasons. As the offseason unfolded, Colorado's focus also turned to securing their young defensemen. Nikita Zadorov, the imposing Russian defenseman known for his physical play, signed a 1-year contract worth $2.15 million. As he continued to develop his game, the Avalanche looked to Zadorov to step up and become a top 4 defenseman. The Avs also retained Matt Nieto, a swift and defensively responsible forward whose contributions to the penalty kill were invaluable. Through these strategic moves and extensions, Colorado was not merely reshaping the roster, they were laying the groundwork for a brighter, more competitive future, one where they could return to the playoffs with renewed ambition and resilience. As the summer wound down, excitement around the team grew. Training camp would soon begin, with fans eager to see how the new additions would gel with the established core. The Avs' 2019 season was nothing short of a wild ride, filled with dramatic twists, breakout performances, and the kind of resilience that turned heads around the league. After just barely squeaking into the playoffs the season before, the Avs were ready to show they weren't just a one-and-done team like they were in 2014. With rising stars and a team hungry for success, 2019 became a year where the Avs emerged as a team to be reckoned with. From the very beginning of the season, Nathan MacKinnon and Mikko Rantanen proved they were still among the best duos in the NHL. And by December, Rantanen was leading the entire league in scoring. The Avalanche surged out of the gates, swiftly positioning themselves among the elite in the NHL. Yet, as quickly as they had risen, a mid-season slump would set in, testing their confidence and resolve. From late December through early February, the Avalanche struggled to find their rhythm, and doubts crept in. Would this Avs team revert to their old ways? Would they be able to maintain their momentum and secure a playoff spot? Or were they just destined to fail? Despite the star power of MacKinnon, Rantanen, and Gabe Landeskog, the Avalanche struggled to find reliable secondary scoring. Recognizing the pressing need for depth, Colorado made several strategic moves to fortify their lineup. They acquired Derek Brassard, a seasoned vet with playoff experience, in hopes that his presence would stabilize their scoring depth and alleviate some of the pressure off of the top line. In the face of their mid-season challenges, the Avalanche rallied in their final stretch, notching crucial victories through March and April. They clawed their way into playoff contention, ultimately securing the second wildcard position. This set the stage for an electrifying first-round showdown with the top-seeded Calgary Flames. Viewed as underdogs by many, few believed the Avalanche could topple the powerhouse Flames. But the team was determined to prove the skeptics wrong, ready to embrace the challenge ahead. And Colorado had a secret weapon up their sleeve, a young talent they'd soon call up to make his NHL debut, Cale Makar. The moment he took the ice for his NHL debut, the Avalanche transformed into an entirely different team. In the showdown against the Flames, Colorado entered the rink brimming with confidence, eager to showcase their merit. After suffering a setback in Game 1 on the road, they bounced back spectacularly in Game 2, clinching a thrilling double overtime victory thanks to Nathan MacKinnon. The stage was set for Game 3, where the atmosphere in Denver was electric. Cale Makar, fresh off a sensational college career, capped by the prestigious Hobey Baker Award, made his NHL debut and didn't waste any time making his mark, scoring his first NHL goal in that very game. With MacKinnon leading the charge and delivering crucial goals at pivotal moments, and Makar providing a dynamic presence on defense, the Avalanche overwhelmed the Flames. In a stunning series upset that few had anticipated, Colorado triumphed in 5 games, solidifying their status as formidable contenders in the postseason. As the second round unfolded, the Colorado Avalanche found themselves locked in a fierce battle with the San Jose Sharks, a team rich with veteran savvy, skill, and tenacity. tenacity. The series was a nail-biter, each game a testament to the relentless drive of both squads, as they fought for every precious inch of the ice. Everything would come to a head in Game 7, a pivotal showdown filled with drama and heartbreak. Wilson found the back of the net with what appeared to be the game-tying goal, only to have it disallowed for offside. A gut-wrenching moment that left players and fans alike reeling. Ultimately, the Avalanche were eliminated in a bitter 3-2 defeat. As the final whistle blew, the echoes of what if lingered in the air, yet the series had undeniably showcased the Avalanche's resilience and skill. They had taken out the first seed in 5 games, and now they had gone toe-to-toe with one of the league's best, proving that they had the heart to compete at the highest level. Despite the season ending in disappointment, it was clear that the Avalanche had something special brewing. Cale Makar had only played 10 games, but made a lasting impact. His breakout performance in the playoffs pretty much signaled that Colorado's defensive core would become about as dangerous as its top offensive unit. By season's end, it was obvious. The Avalanche were no longer just a team to watch. They were a team that demanded respect again. MacKinnon had solidified his role as a superstar, Rantanen his ideal partner, and Makar looked poised to join them as a franchise cornerstone. Even with the playoff heartbreak, 2019 was a year of growth, of emerging stars, and of a squad ready to make their mark. The 2019 offseason saw the Colorado Avalanche at a pivotal crossroads, embarking on a series of transactions that would shape their future. The excitement began with the 4th overall pick in the draft, where the Avalanche selected Bowen Byram, a move made possible thanks to the earlier trade involving Matt Duchene and the Ottawa Senators. As the free agent frenzy kicked off on July 1st, the Avalanche made several key signings that flew under the radar at the time, but would later prove crucial to the team's success. Valeri Nichushkin joined the fold, signing a 1-year contract worth $850,000. The Avalanche would also bid farewell to Tyson Barrie and Alex Kerfoot. The two were traded to the Toronto Maple Leafs in a deal that involved the Avalanche receiving Nazem Kadri. It was a bold move by Sakic, one that sent a clear message to the hockey world. The Avalanche were going all in. Sakic wasn't done yet. He also acquired Andrei Burakovsky, a move that would quietly go on to become one of his best. While goaltender Semyon Varlamov found a new home with the New York Islanders, ending his pretty successful tenure with the Colorado Avalanche. In the tumultuous year of 2020, the Colorado Avalanche embarked on a season marked by soaring hopes, unexpected challenges, and a relentless pursuit of the Stanley Cup. This team was full of resilience, raw talent, and the ambition to become champions. The Avs kicked off the 2020 season with optimism. Nathan MacKinnon, the fearless leader and offensive dynamo, continued to shine, while key additions like Nazem Kadri and Andrei Burakovsky brought skill, grit, and vital playoff experience to the roster. As the calendar turned to a new year, the Avalanche had established themselves as one of the NHL's most dynamic teams, emerging as serious contenders. Makar, with his fluid skating and pinpoint passing, became a sensation on the blue line, quickly establishing himself as a frontrunner for the Calder Trophy. But just as the Avalanche seemed poised for greatness, the pandemic struck, halting the NHL season in March. This sudden stop halfway through the season would pause the momentum for the Avalanche, leaving their players to train and navigate the uncertainty of when or if the season would resume. Yet, in a testament to their resilience, the team stayed connected, maintaining their condition and supporting one another through virtual means. When the NHL finally announced its return, it came with a playoff bubble in Edmonton and Toronto. The Avalanche entered as one of the top seeds in the Western Conference, their impressive regular season performance paving the way. In the round-robin tournament, they faced off against other teams to determine the playoff seeding, finishing second in the West, narrowly missing as the top spot to the Vegas Golden Knights. In the first round, the Avalanche faced the Arizona Coyotes, and it quickly became clear that the Avs were on a mission. They dismantled the Coyotes in 5 games, showcasing their offensive depth with high-scoring victories. The second round series against the Dallas Stars would turn out to be a dramatic and unpredictable showdown. Injuries began to pile up, with starting goalie Philip Grubauer sidelined and backup Pavel Francouz forced into the starting role, only to be replaced by third-string goalie Michael Hutchinson when he went down with injuries. Despite these setbacks, the Avs fought valiantly, fueled by MacKinnon's extraordinary playoff performance as he delivered point after point, carrying the team on his back. This series morphed into a back-and-forth battle, but Dallas still managed to take a 3-1 series lead. But playing with the heart of a champion, Colorado wasn't finished. With sheer determination and fiery play, they rallied, winning Game 5 and 6 in thrilling fashion to force a decisive Game 7. The stage was set for the final showdown, and Colorado was riding high on their comeback. Yet, in a heartbreaking twist, they fell short yet again. The Stars ended the Avalanche's season with a gut-wrenching 5-4 overtime loss, courtesy of a Joel Kiviranta hat trick. It was a devastating blow to a team that had battled through injuries and adversity, coming so close to reaching the Western Conference Final. Despite the disappointment, Nathan MacKinnon's playoff performance became one of the endearing stories of 2020. Over 15 games, he amassed an outstanding 25 points, proving why he was among the NHL's elite. Looking back, the 2020 season served as a testament to the Avalanche's potential and resilience. Though the ending was bittersweet, the team emerged from the bubble with a renewed sense of determination. As the anticipation built for 2021, Joe Sakic and his team swung into action during the offseason, determined to fine-tune their roster for the challenges ahead. On October 12, 2020, the Avs made a pivotal move in their quest for success by acquiring defenseman Devon Toews from the New York Islanders, a decision that would prove to be a stroke of genius. Since joining the team, Toews established himself as an essential part of Colorado's defensive core, earning a reputation as one of the most reliable defensemen in the NHL. Among their strategic moves was the acquisition of Brandon Saad, a dynamic forward brought in through a trade with the Chicago Blackhawks. In exchange, the Avs parted ways with defenseman Nikita Zadorov. As the team prepared for the season, these moves set the stage for a thrilling campaign ahead, where the Avs would strive to harness their newfound potential amidst the challenges that lay ahead. The season began with a shortened 56-game schedule due to the pandemic, placing them in the new West Division. From the get-go, the Avs flexed their strength and speed, quickly becoming favorites to take the division. Goaltender Philip Grubauer emerged as a major storyline with one of his best seasons, posting an impressive .922 save percentage and earning a Vezina Trophy nomination. He became the backbone of the team, delivering shutouts and clutch performances that helped keep the Avalanche in tight games. Meanwhile, the team showed extraordinary depth. The addition of gritty forward Brandon Saad and the solid veteran defenseman Devon Toews provided the extra stability that Colorado needed. A major event of the season came on May 13th when the Avs clinched the President's Trophy on the very last day of the regular season, finishing with the best record in the league, 39-13-4. The Avs secured home ice advantage throughout the playoffs, a big achievement when you consider the high expectations around this team. In the first round, they faced the St. Louis Blues, sweeping them with ease in 4 games. MacKinnon was unstoppable, and the Avalanche looked like an absolute force. Each game felt like a statement, as they outscored the Blues 20-7, showcasing a team firing on all cylinders. The second round brought a matchup against the Vegas Golden Knights, a team that was quickly becoming one of their biggest competitors. This series would end up being the defining chapter of Colorado's season. They took Game 1 with a decisive 7-1 victory, and in Game 2, thanks to a clutch overtime goal from Mikko Rantanen, they went up 2-0 in the series, leading fans to believe the Avs might steamroll their way to the conference finals. But the hockey gods just had other plans. The Golden Knights tied the series in 2 tight wins on home ice, shifting the momentum. Games 5 and 6 were nail-biters, but the Golden Knights' relentless physical play began wearing down Colorado. They struggled to find the magic they had in the regular season, and Vegas ended the series by winning 4 consecutive games, ending Colorado's playoff run in a shocking 4-2 series defeat. For the Avalanche, this was a devastating blow. Nathan MacKinnon's post-game press conference after the elimination reflected the heartbreak of the season. His famous line, "I'm going into my 9th year next year, and I haven't won shit," resonated with fans and summed up the frustration of falling short once again. Combined youthful energy with seasoned veterans, the Avalanche would set the tone for the playoffs, recording a franchise-best 56 wins and 119 points, finishing atop the Central Division. One of the season's standout stories was the emergence of Cale Makar, fully emerging as one of the best defensemen in the game. He dazzled fans with his speed and offensive prowess, leading all defensemen in scoring with 28 goals and 86 points. His standout performance earned him the Norris Trophy as the NHL's best defenseman, marking a significant milestone in his young career. After the Colorado Avalanche's disappointing playoff exit in the second round of the 2021 postseason, losing to the Vegas Golden Knights, the front office knew they needed some fine-tuning if they were going to go all the way. Joe Sakic wasted no time. He had a team bursting with talent, but it was clear they needed a few extra pieces for depth, toughness, and reliability, especially come playoff time. Colorado bolstered their lineup even more with the signing of veteran forward Darren Helm, known for his speed and penalty-killing expertise. Helm wasn't expected to score, but he was the type of player who could make life miserable for opponents with his relentless energy, and who could handle physical matchups and protect the crease. Manson wasn't flashy, but he brought a much-needed physical edge to Colorado's defense. Sakic wasn't done. He also traded for Arturi Lehkonen from the Montreal Canadiens. Lehkonen had a stellar two-way game, and he was known for his clutch playoff performances. And finally, the Avalanche brought in Andrew Cogliano, a reliable veteran forward known for his work ethic and locker room presence. Cogliano would add depth, experience, and speed to Colorado's bottom six forward group. With all the pieces finally in place, the Colorado Avalanche set out on their postseason journey. A journey that would turn all the pain and struggles of 2017 into distant memories. Every setback, every moment of doubt, now felt like a necessary step towards this moment of glory.
Manson looking to shoot. Now he does. He scores! This is the pass to the near side. Helm shoots. Scores! Can you believe it? Here's Makar. Loose and full. Arturi Lehkonen has scored. And for the second straight year, he sent his team in overtime to the Stanley Cup final. Cropper, JT Cropper shot block. Majewski, game winner. Now they're going to be caught. Here comes Cadbury shooting. And it's in, or is it? It's in the back of the net. And yes, it is. A Nazem Cadbury game-winning goal. And the Colorado Avalanche are on the cusp of the cup. To MacKinnon, bouncing puck, and a goal! Arturi Lehkonen makes it 2-1, Colorado. He's forced up, and it comes back to the Cup champions.
Well, what more can you say? I'm not sure we'll ever see a team make such a quick turnaround from a franchise worst season to a franchise best. This was the story of how Colorado avoided a 3-year slump and came out on top as Stanley Cup champions. If you boys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll catch you boys in the next one.